Welcome back, guys. It's me again, Wolfwood. I'm back with another Remnant 2 build guide video. And today I'm going to share with you a defensive build. And this build is for players who are struggling to survive in Apocalypse. And this build can basically tank almost any attacks except the one-hit mechanics of some bosses. Alright, let's get started. Alright, so basically this build is heavy on shields and health regen. So we'll be using Medic for our primary archetype, so we can use the shield skill. Then for our secondary archetype, we'll be using Summoner, so we can apply shields after every 15 seconds, which I'll explain later. We'll be using the Difference Engine Amulet, so we can gain 20% damage and lifesteal whenever a shield is active. You will also need the rerouting cable ring. With this ring, you gain 5% of max health as a shield for 5 seconds after spending 20 stamina. Max 50% shield. Next will be the generating band ring, which generates 3% of max health per second while a shield is active. So basically how it works is that when you get hit or you get damage, you use stamina by rolling. So you will immediately regenerate your health. At the same time, you will be protected by your shield. And if you include the Ring of Grace, taking enemy damage causes 15% of maximum health to regenerate over 10 seconds. This can stack with your generating band for more healing. And lastly, the excess coil ring. Activating a skill grants a shield for 25% of max health. For our long gun, we'll be using the Sparkfire shotgun with Song of Fear mod. This will help slow down enemies, especially mobs and elites. Equipped with Maelstrom Mutator for increased elemental damage and increased mod power generation. You can use any handgun you want, but I prefer using Enigma with Failsafe Mutator for additional mod damage. For our melee weapon, we'll be using the World's Edge, so we can hit our enemy from a distance. Equipped with Shielded Strike Mutator, so we can gain more shields with our melee weapon. For our relic, we'll be using Shielded Heart with armor, healing effectiveness, and shield amount. With this relic, this will grant us shield instead of health. And for our armor, we'll be using the Leto Mark II set, so we can be more tankier. And lastly, these are my traits. With all that put together, you can basically stack your shields up to 4 times. By taking advantage of the rerouting cable, you gain shields by spending stamina. You gain shields with your melee weapon. You gain shields with your relic. You gain shields with your medic skill. And lastly, you gain shields whenever you activate your skill. Now, it doesn't matter if you use the medic skill or the summoner skill. However, you will notice that the medic skill has a longer cooldown, which has 80 seconds, and the summoner skill has 24 seconds cooldown with the root hollow. However, if you sacrifice the root hollow, it reduces your skill cooldown by up to 50%, meaning it will cut it down to 12 seconds only. Alright, so as an example, I'm going to show you how it works. First, I'm going to deploy my root hollow, and you'll notice that I will gain shield. Then I'm going to sacrifice my root hollow, and you'll notice the cooldown starts. But at this point, I still have a second skill I can deploy while waiting for the other cooldown. And I'm going to sacrifice this again. My shields are still up. I can deploy another one. Again, another shield. So sacrifice and repeat. Now, make sure to always deploy one Hallow at a time, so you always have an extra backup. So in case your uh, medic skill is in cooldown, you still have two extra skills that you can deploy for every 12 seconds, so you can have shields every time. Now, apart from being tanky, you will still deal good damage with this build, since you are getting 20% damage from the amulet, 25% increase to all damage from the medic archetype, increased mod and skill damage by 35% from the summoner. But since you will be sacrificing your Hallow most of the time, instead you will get increased range and melee damage by 30%. Also, do not be afraid to use your relic charges, since you will regain your relic charge after restoring 250 total health to yourself and to your allies. And lastly, before I forget, you will also need the root water concoction. This will help you with your health regeneration. And this is good for 60 minutes. Alright, so that's the build for today. I hope you like the build. And I also hope you have all of the gears to make this build. Don't forget to like the video, and this will very much help my channel grow. And I thank you so much for all of your support. And if you're new, don't forget to subscribe, and hope to see you in the next one. Have a great day, guys. Thank you.